Hi everyone. Hope you guys are doing well. This is another podcast with one of my student. That's Her name is Roshni, and she's basically from India. And yeah, she has been a very good student. And I'm from Pakistan, so through the online platform that Mirjawala offers, we got connected. And she's a professional accountant, and she's working in one of the multinational firm, RSM, known as RSM as a senior associate. So, welcome, Roshni, to particularly my short podcast with you. And since you just have cleared SBL with shining marks, right, 75 scoring, particularly in a paper like SBL, that's totally a theory, and you don't need to calculate anything, and you have to draft accordingly. So it's a great achievement. Congratulations for that. And this video, I'll be questioning you regarding the tutor, regarding SBL, regarding ACCA in India, and each and everything. And you need to share about that, right? So the first
Yeah.
thing is that I'll be asking that how did you came to ACCA, and how's your corporate experience been going in RSM that you are working as an associate? So what you gonna be saying about that?
So ACCA, I feel ever since I've been in college has been a very it has been a developed field, and ever since I started my education, I know that ACCA is that one qualification that helps every accounting and finance aspirant to do better in their career. So for me, ACCA was always that pedestal that I wanted to reach. That's why I've been working towards it and working as a senior associate in RSM. So my firm right now caters to clients in the US, but ACCA is also very important for my clients. They need to see whether me as an associate, do I have the credentials to work on their audits, and also further along my career for the remaining trajectory, I need to make sure that every student, I think, should make sure that they have a professional qualification so that you can end up with higher positions, better paying positions, and yeah, I think it just gives you a good credibility. That was always my goal, to just have that.
Okay,
Yeah,
Roshni, by the way, from which city you are?
I am from Delhi. I live in Delhi.
And are there local institutes as well? And how did you reach that Mirchawalas for ACCA? Because sometimes by listening to Indians and Pakistanis, they are very hesitating to transact with each other. So how did you came to Mirchawalas and all that?
Actually, there are many great institutes here in India as well, like very popular ones that you might have seen on LinkedIn also, Nidhi, Bhaskar, and
Yeah, I've heard of some
yeah,
tutors
there's
there. Yeah.
a lot. The reason why I reached out to Mirchawala so specifically was because when I was giving SBL for the second time, so you had taken those pre-scene classes and you had put them up on your YouTube. So
Yeah.
I used to search for pre-scene explanations, like the पूरे questions के साथ जो आपने analysis डाली थी. I found yours and I actually loved that the most out of the others because it was a lot more simplified, and all of the questions that you had told me, I had noted down whatever you had told in your session. So I thought, okay, if I want to do SBL, I kind of just want to do this class. I
Okay,
think
so
this
this
was
was your first paper with Mirchawalas,
yeah,
SBL, right?
yeah,
Okay, okay. It's great to see because a lot of students that have done skills from particular institute, they prefer professionals to be done from the same institute. They do not usually change this paper, change
yeah,
the institute, right? Okay,
yeah.
so how would you rate the pre-scene analysis that I made earlier, or that I particularly or did with the Biego case study that just released? So what you believe that?
I think it was spot on because a lot of the questions that we discussed, they did come up in the exam. Like
And then
at
the
least in
mock, how do you think the mock worked, right?
I felt like the mock was a little difficult. I remember freaking out also to your tutor कि oh my god, पता नहीं ठीक से लिखा क्या मैंने, because
And
I
I
was very
remember
nervous.
I was in Saudi, and I received calls from you. And I got a number. I remember I got a number in which I can call to Pakistan and India regularly. And my family was noticing that I was not calling Pakistan much, but I was calling to India more time to discussing with the students that do not panic. The mock is very difficult, I know, but this will prepare you for the worst. That this is the worst that can be happening, right?
The mock was very, like, I mean, I wouldn't say it was very difficult, but it was more difficult than what we had expected. But it was a really good test. I feel like because of that, I was able to practice answer writing really well, especially according to the professional skills.
Okay, okay. So, yeah, we were discussing the pre-scene mock that was discussed in pre-scene insights. And apart from that, I remember that I was discussing with each and every student regarding the pre-scene, because I personally believe that the mock that I made, it was really difficult, right? And it got a lot of students panic that when I shared the mock, like to do solve it for four hours, the students usually read the requirements and say, "Oh, come on, send us the answers. We are not going to solve this. Kindly send your answers that what you have drafted in it, and we need to see it." So same
Yeah.
situation was yours, I believe, but you attempted many papers, and that was the main key that student should be doing for SBL. And to achieve 75 marks, I remember that you were a really difficult student. You were keeping the questions aligned. Like whenever I wake up, whenever I come back from to the hotel, there were questions from Roshni and all the other students, and that those students have passed. So yeah, this was, I guess, one of the major factor that decided that you're gonna be passing this paper.
Yeah, I think because SBL is also that kind of a subject ki you have to dig deep and get those questions out. You can't just, because it's a theory subject, I think we just take it and we get into that habit of rote learning.
Hmm.
But AC,
Yeah,
it can't be rote learning. It's a professional paper. I think
yeah.
that's how the question would just come up.
Yeah. And one more thing is that your corporate experience must have added value as well. Because you have been dealing with international clients, there must be some concerns regarding corporate governance, regarding reporting, regarding reports making. So this
Yeah.
also has led a greater, I would say, a particular value added feature that you had and the other students didn't, and that contributed some good marks.
I think so. I think maybe technically with the way I write my answers, maybe the way my professional life has been, that's helped me a lot. That I'm like my typing speed is good because I type a lot at work.
Yeah.
And
And how
then
would you say the industry that just tested? That
they
industry.
I was like, when I saw this, I thought this is amazing because I use Uber every single day. So this
So you
makes sense.
exactly knew the pros and cons and the thought processes that needs to be run
Yeah.
during the exam. And yeah, this industry was quite a bit easy industry that the previous that one tested that was about the pet veterinary service. So they were kind of a difficult. Yeah. So someone who haven't kept a pet, they cannot be familiar with the industry. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Roshni, the next question would be that you are based in Delhi, and there are certain students across the India as well to us. So I have seen that the Indian market has been preferring ACCA, and there are many students that are doing ACCA. So what about the local chartered accountancy and the other qualifications? What do you see their scope in India, and how do you rate ACCA across others as well?
Okay. I think the scope for Indian CA, I think that will always prevail because I've heard that the government is making many changes to its course structure just to accommodate more Indian CA students.
Okay.
And there is a shortage of Indian CA. So I know that will always prevail. But I also know that ACCA is booming and there are so many global firms coming into India. They
Oh,
want Indians to work in their companies to help them with their audits or with their financial operations or in consulting. So ACCA day by day is becoming very important and it is needed. I think even with colleges, they have affiliations with ACCA, in terms of giving exemptions or letting people know about the course. It is very important here. I think it's all about. Personally, for me, the reason why I went for ACCA is because I wanted to work in a global market rather than
hmm.
just be
True.
situated in Indian accounting.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
also prefer that you'll be working to the either in Europe or America soon. So you
Yeah.
also
Inshallah.
that's probably the dream of every Pakistani, and I believe and half of the Indians have the same dream as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and especially because I was born and brought up in, not born, but I was brought up in the Gulf. So
Okay.
IFRS is the standard that is followed mainly.
Yeah.
That's also why ACCA was important to me.
Okay, okay. So, Roshni, the last question would be that would you be recommending Mirchawalas and SBL and other papers to all the Indian and to all the students that you overcome? And so you must be the senior one, so you must have got trainees as well. So, what would be your recommendation?
I would definitely recommend it to them, especially to full-time working students. I feel like the way the classes were provided and, the fact that you were always there on WhatsApp, actually, I could ask you doubts whenever. It was very simplified. It was very easy. I could study whenever I had the time and answer papers and send it to you whenever I had the time. So it's very accessible. I would recommend it to everyone for that. Also, I really appreciated the way you corrected my papers and gave me pointers that I could add to my answers. It helped me build my knowledge more. So I would recommend it for these reasons, even for the easy course structure. Yeah.
Thank you, Roshni, for the feedback, and I hope that all the students that whether they belong from India or anywhere in the market, they see this video, they'll decide better that if they are going for ACCA, so they should be having a particular right mentor with them. And I'm not saying to just opt for the faculties that we have, but you should be opting for the right mentors so that you can be
Yeah.
guided better because it's the pieces that you pay in pounds, right? So it's significant for whichever country you are. So thank you, Roshni, for joining me. And I hope that everyone sees this video would be getting a help as well as the alumni that are based in India can also get connected with us regarding any help. So I won't doubt, and Roshni won't be doubting as well if you reached out them and anything if you need, right?
Yeah.
So thank you, Roshni.